We are ready. All right, call the meeting to order. Jen, will you take roll?
Commissioner Corbin?
Here.
Commissioner Johnson?
I'm here.
Commissioner Walter?
Here.
Commissioner Abraham?
Here.
Mayor Lindsay?
Here. You have attached the minutes of the August 11th meeting. Are there any adjustments or corrections?
Make a motion, we approve the August 11th, 2014 minutes.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You have attached the agenda for this evening. Are there any additions or corrections or changes?
None, I move to approve the
Okay.
agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Appearances, acknowledgements, and correspondence. We have James Gleason and Larry Eby in that from Clarity. And at this time in that, I'd ask you to step to the microphone and make your presentation. We do record this so that people at home and that can hear it.
You think they can understand the accent?
We don't
They
know
will
about that.
call if they can't.
My
They
name's
will
Larry
call
Eby.
for clarity.
Yes, sir, that's right, for Clarity. So, Larry Eby with Clarity Telecom. I run operations there, and we really just wanted to come and introduce ourselves to you. As you, I think everyone's aware, we are buying the cable systems here from WOW. And so, thought we'd at least come and introduce ourselves and explain a little bit about the transaction and how that works. We expect to close on the purchase around the 1st of October. So at that time, we will be the owners, but we think it's important for everybody to understand that the name remains WOW for some time. We actually do a transitional services agreement with WOW, so that probably through February, we will still do business as WOW. So it'll be under the new ownership, and we'll be making our operational changes and enhancements. But as far as the number that everybody calls and their billing statements and things like that will all still say WOW, and for the most part, it'll look the same. Like I said, we'll start doing some of the enhancements and changes to the network immediately. To tell you a little bit about us and who Clarity Telecom is, we're headquartered in Sikeston, Missouri, but our headquarters, when we say we're headquartered there, it's really it's where our accounting and kind of senior management folks are, but really the operation will still continue to run locally. So we'll be up here a lot. We'll be developing new accents from what I gather.
Yes. The Midwestern accent.
That's right, the real Midwestern accent. But we just wanted to really come and introduce ourselves and see if there were any questions. I think everybody's, as far as the council goes, you've already done the transition or passed the resolution, so we appreciate your attention to that. And again, just wanted to say hello and let you know that you'll be seeing us.
Well, very good, and we really appreciate, Annette, you taking the time to come in. And like I said, this goes out through the local radio and the newspaper, and then it also is, where people can watch it on the internet. And so this kind of helps answer maybe some of their questions and that, that you hear about anyway, but you never really, get the questions answered as to who's going to be there and who's taking it over and when's it going to happen and so forth.
You bet.
So we really appreciate it.
We've got Jim Gleason, who's the president of the company. You may know Rex, but Rex is the general manager, and then Aaron Boyce also came. So
Yes.
Rex is going to continue to be the general manager, so he's your local contact. I left a card at all your seats there with cell phone and everything on there, so if you need to reach us, or if people send you questions from this recording,
Yes.
just let us know, let Rex or myself know, and we'll get with you, okay?
Very good, thank you.
We're looking forward to a long relationship with you
Yes.
folks and serving you, so thank you.
Anyone on the council have questions or comments?
I'll throw out for the public, just so that the news and the citizens know it's great within Madison that we have multiple providers. And as part of the city, our job is to make sure that we monitor the providers as far as who's doing business. But it's great for the citizens to have a choice. And as you could tell, the mayor talked, and we try to do more stuff over the internet and to keep getting information out to our citizens. And one of the things is this is probably streaming over WOW cable internet right now. So
Good, very good. We appreciate that, and hope to help people make the right choice.
Very good.
Well-
So, no, I'm kidding.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Okay. Seeing no old business, we'll move on to new business. Authorize the mayor to sign the agreement with the Madison Central School District in Lake County for the School Resource Officer Program. And with this, Mike, I'm going to ask you if there's, how you want to proceed, who you would like to speak to this or and move forward.
Yeah, I think I'll start with the school and the school board, and I have a couple of comments as well, so.
Fantastic.
Okay, thank you. My name is Tom Farrell, and I'm president of the Madison School Board. And first of all, I want to thank you as a city commission for taking time to consider the proposal that we've worked on now for probably about 4 or 5 months in relationship of adding an enhancement to our school district and more importantly to our community of something that's called a school resource officer. There are lots of districts in our area that have school resource officers. It became a priority of our board last year as we were doing our planning that we felt that we'd like to at least begin discussions as to the addition of this type of a position. Those discussions led to an opportunity for us to meet with Commissioner Waldner, to meet with Mayor Lindsay, to meet with Chief Fulford, to meet with Mr. Myers and go forward from there. Also representing the county, we had Chris Giles. We also had Commissioner Peterson there as a part of that. Sheriff Wahlberg, Jenny Thompson represented the board. So we had a good mix of folks that met together. We discussed, we brought in resources to us, and at that point in time, a decision was made that we would like to, as a part of our budget cycle, which runs not concurrent with yours, but at least for this year, we would like to dedicate $25,000 of this current school year budget to help fund this type of an initiative. We're hopeful that, as we move forward, that this would be a tremendous benefit not only to our students, but also to our staff and also to many of our community members who would benefit from building of these relationships with a school resource officer. We appreciate the time that's been put into it, and we certainly would encourage additional dialogue, discussion, and hopeful eventual passing of this agreement between the three entities. With that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Schaefer. Anything you want to add?
Vince Schaefer, Superintendent of Madison Central Schools. Just a couple of comments to help support the cause, and that is in the area of communication and research. We worked diligently with, you might say, Sheriff Milstead out of Minnehaha County, and resource officer from that aspect that has worked in the role for years, and it was very positive, extremely informative. And it also clarified the fact that we're free to develop our own blueprint for job description, duties, and et cetera, and expectations of the position. And recognizing the fact that they would be there, and others as well, be there to help and coach and assist us as we have questions, and we had a lot of them. I bet we talked that first time for about an hour and a half with Sheriff Milstead and clarifying the role of the SRO and the impact that they have. And the one thing that keeps coming back to me as superintendent of school is the SRO is not to be a punitive position, so to speak. The SRO is to be a preventative position, a communicative one, and a connection, so to speak, that develops a liaison between students and staff and families and the city police department and the county-wide services of the sheriff's department and that type of a scenario. So it seems to be extremely positive, and we're just glad to be able to come before you tonight and discuss it in this manner, and I'm sure be very pleased to have your support in this partnership.
Very good.
I guess,
Kelly's here from the county.
yeah, this agreement is also with, it would be between the three entities of the county, the city, and then also the school district. Kelly, Commissioner Woolman's in the room. Anything you'd like to add, or I want to make sure I don't leave anybody out.
And I guess we see these guys.
Kelly, if you
all-
wouldn't mind for the public, if you come up to the microphone.
I have really good say.
Nothing additional
You can
to
say
say.
that, you can still say that to the microphone.
Ms. Kelly says I agree with what they said, so. No, and as you can tell, Superintendent Schaefer and the school board president, Tom Farrell, and Jenny Thompson as well from the school side, and us on the city side and the county side, it's probably been, well, our committee and meeting has probably been 4 months, 5 months, something like that, and I know the school's been working on it even longer, so. We have done a numerous amount of research from the PD side. Chief Paulford and Sergeant Meyer, Justin has just done a great job as well, digging in and reaching out, not just resource officers within South Dakota, but also on a nationwide level, and all kinds of resources that are out there. And so I think we have put together a pretty nice agreement. I'm very encouraged that the county is also willing to partner with us on this. Many of our students in Madison are county, well, we're all county residents, and a lot of the students that come to Madison School District are not necessarily within the city limits. So it's kind of nice that we get a good group to help support this. And so on the funding side, I think I've shared this in our other discussion when we talked about this a month or so back. $25,000 from the city or from the school district, $25,000 from the county, and then the city of Madison picks up the rest. And when I say picks up the rest, we're looking at, about that $25,000 range in a three-way partnership. Now, I'm kind of throwing out some numbers on the city side, and I'd rather just say that we pick up the rest of it because there's all kinds of additional expenses, and the school district has other expenses, in-kind expenses as well. They have office space, they have numerous things that, quite honestly, we probably don't even know about yet. And this agreement is a 3-year agreement. We've all agreed that we will be flexible, certainly over this first year, as we all learn and walk through the process. And this person will be City of Madison employee, not a school district employee. It's important to establish that distinction just from the fact that school districts can't hire police officers. It has to be a certified police officer. That's I believe by law. I'm not sure that on that, but it will be a City of Madison patrol officer certified, and then also certified in the SRO capabilities. And so that's where the city, when I say picks up the rest of it, it will have to run through our payroll system and all of those other expenses that come with an additional employee. Now, that's also to say that during the summer, that officer then becomes a patrol officer and goes into our rotation then throughout the summer. And that's up to chief of police to handle all of the scheduling and the duties and things from that.
So the schedule and the duties will be assigned by the chief even during the school year?
The short answer to that would be yes, with close cooperation with the school district. And what I mean by that is the school district, along with that SRO, will work together to determine maybe perhaps like what events, after our events, that officer should be at. And that might be something that the SRO officer will come to the school district and say, hey, I caught wind of something might be going on, and I want to make sure that I have a presence at an event, and whatever that event will be. And but in the long run, yeah, the person will report to the chief of police, and the chief of police will have, just like he does with his patrol officers, knowing when and where they are today. So.
Very good. Yes, sir.
Question?
Yes, would you come to the table, please? And then I'll ask you to identify yourself for the people at home.
Ronald Moody, a citizen.
Okay.
Resident of Lake County.
Very good, thank you.
Does this include the private school also? The
Right.
school resource officer, does it include the private school in Lake County?
Are you talking like St. Thomas or the Christian school?
Okay, either
or-
one then.
Either one?
They're in Lake County, so there are
Yep.
taxpayers in Lake County
Mhm.
who might not pay for the education, but they are paying taxes.
Yep.
Mhm.
The best way that, and we talked about that and discussed that, and not only with the private schools, but also with your other county schools. You have Chester and Rutland and Oldham Ramona. We've contacted those schools and we've talked with them. We've also talked with DSU as well. So, and that resource officer, while they are stationed in Madison, okay, one of the nice things about Lake County is that if there's an incident that would happen at any of those other schools, our resource officer, who has the skill sets to handle those type of situations, will be dispatched to those areas, okay?
That leads to my next question. We have an incident in Ramona, who's gonna be the first responder?
It'll probably be, actually, your first responder,
Will
and
be
correct
the
me if I'm
it will be
wrong
the
here.
Lake County
please-
Sheriff.
Lake County Sheriff.
One
Sheriff's
person answer
the-
at a time, 'cause
Okay.
I can't understand three answers.
Yep, Ron, the first person to respond would be the Lake County Sheriff.
For Chester, Ramona,
Mhm.
and Rutland.
Correct.
and Not the private school.
If an incident happens at them also, the sheriff would also
Sheriff,
respond.
okay. Now, an incident at Madison High School develops. Who's gonna be the first responder there?
Chances are the SRO will be there, and then it'll be the city police.
Now, is there an attorney here?
I'm an attorney.
And this is a multi-jurisdictional atmosphere.
It is.
In Lake County, what authority is there that might be above the sheriff, the school board, or the chief of police? Is there an executive in the county that would have authority over those three elements?
Pursuant to this agreement or just
No,
generally
in case
speaking?
there's jurisdictional disputes.
No, there is not an entity above any of those entities.
In criminal acts, who would have the jurisdiction?
It will depend on where the criminal act was.
Inside of Lake County?
It depends. If it's committed within a city, it could be the city of Madison. If it's,
So that's the city attorney.
well, it could be, but it also could be a state charge within the city, and then it could be the state's attorney. So I can't answer that question.
So
That-
there's
it's
two different levels that could get involved, the city and the county. then.
There are two levels that could be involved in criminal charges, correct?
Which is not unusual.
I understand that.
Which is the way it is now.
Right.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank
Yep,
you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the subject? Questions or comments?
I'll just expand on one of the things that Ron touched on is the whole idea of, and I like the term area of expertise, and within Lake County, if we have a police officer who has special skills, special training, and an incident happens, whether, or even if it's a sheriff's deputy that has some certain skill sets that are needed at an incident, I can guarantee you, as close as our PD and our sheriff's deputies and the Lake County Sheriff's Department work together, we're going to dispatch resources to where they're needed. And I think that's a good way to put it.
Well, this is never gonna happen, but we're never gonna, nobody's ever gonna get 8 inches of rain in a half an hour either. Let's say that there's 4 incidents occur within a half an hour of each other. That's never gonna happen in Lake County. Right? right?
You certainly hope not. Yep. And, you know, and that's one of one of the features, or one of the nice things about creating a position like this is that from a preventative perspective, we hope to prevent any type of those incidents from happening. And you know, yep.
In the event of four simultaneous instances in Lake County, you're not gonna have enough deputies, city police, or patrol, or highway patrol on duty in the district to cover it all anyway. So it'll be all hands on deck at that point anyway.
But DCI would come too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's something like that. There's plans in place for it, but no one is equipped for something like that.
Yeah. Across South Dakota.
Yeah.
There's not 4 law enforcement officers on duty in Lake County 24 hours a day?
I can't answer.
can't speak.
Yeah.
There might be a total of 4 or 5 at one given time.
And there probably is most of the
How many members are there
time.
in the police department?
There's 10 of us, including me.
10 including you. How many sheriffs in the sheriff's department?
I'm with the police department, but I believe there's the sheriff and 4 deputies.
That's 15. How many highway patrolmen, anybody?
There's 6 in the squad, right?
They're getting a couple more in, but I think there's 1 or 2 local, and we are covered by 6 or 7 total.
17.
So I guess
Very good.
for me to just wrap everything up is that, you know, for my fellow commissioners is that, the other part of this is, yes, I know it's another employee, and we are getting some funding for that person, which will help us. And that person will also, again, through the summer, be able to rotate, help us with some scheduling, some overtime, or not overtime, but vacations and things for some of the other officers. And I guess, you know, obviously myself, the mayor was on the committee as well. This is a great agreement. Is it have everything in it? Probably not. We'll be flexible throughout the first year for sure. And but I think we've dotted our i's and crossed our t's on it, and have worked pretty diligent on it. So I'm certainly in support of it.
And the nice thing is that all 3 entities worked very hard on working this out and looking and projecting, you know, the possible scenarios and that we could be dealing with. And so I feel very comfortable and very pleased with all the effort that all 3 agencies and that have put into this position and into this document and to move forward.
I'm Gail Pfeiffer. I have a question now. The resource officer is not only going to deal with emergency situations, they're going to get to try and know the children
Yes.
within the school system and so forth. So would they be conducting programs on drugs and things like that? And speaking relative to the other schools, would they go to Chester to put on a drug program?
There are a number of things that this could evolve into, and we're in the learning process. And this does happen in some of the other schools, and especially with the officers that the Sioux Falls School District has, and their outreach program to Tri-Valley and Del Rapids. And so there are a number of possibilities in that can come from this, yes.
Are they be given a free ride then to those school systems, or are they expected to help contribute in some way towards that officer's time if they're, say, going around the schools doing drug tests or?
To say that they're giving a free ride, no, because Lake County is paying part of this officer's expenses, and they are included in Lake County. So to say that they'd be giving a free ride, the answer is no, because they are Lake County taxpayers as well.
Is the resource officer gonna spend much of his time inside or outside, or there's no anticipation of where his?
Both.
Both.
On the agenda, we have, the motion, or the agenda item says to authorize the mayor to sign an agreement with Madison Central School District.
Which you have attached.
Does that commit us to moving forward to this
Yes.
as set forth in the agreement?
I would suggest the motion be made contingent upon the other two bodies approving.
Yes.
the
Correct.
agreement.
Correct.
Okay, I'll make that motion contingent upon the other two bodies.
Okay.
I will second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying
Actually, I
aye.
have another question for David,
Yes,
now that we've
okay.
gone that far. Are you comfortable that if it's not working, that we have an escape out on it, if it really doesn't work for some reason?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd just like to speak to that, having been in alcohol and drug world most of my life, which included prevention, suicide prevention, other type of abuses. This is a work in progress. This is not static. It's not just this and that's it. It evolves, and the position becomes what our needs are over time. Yes, there are some basics to it, but it's not a static kind of thing. We'll be massaging this out and having this position become what we need, both in our district and in our county.
I
So
think the
I'm-
agreement
yeah,
provides
yeah.
for that, Kevin.
Yeah, I do, and I'm
does.
just saying that in reference to what
Yeah.
Commissioner asked, because I really think that's an important piece of this. It isn't the kind of thing where, that's why I think Commissioner Wallner's comments are important, that this, in the beginning, are the things that this is gonna be that we want? Yes. Some things that we're gonna tweak later on down the road, yes, but it's a place to start, so.
One other comment is that we are looking at the resource officer to be available in the school district at the first of the year, is about the timeframes that we would be looking at, just so the commissioners are aware of that. This isn't something you just don't go out and hurry up and hire somebody and get them in place right away. It's gonna take some time.
Because they also have to be, besides being a certified patrol officer, they also have to be SRO certified.
They have to
which
be
is
hired, trained, and certified.
Yeah,
So
which is another training
Yeah.
process that they have to also go through. if they
it's
haven't already.
Very likely it would be January 1 before all
Mhm.
that was done.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You have attached bills for approval, and do we have any questions or comments?
I just want to thank you guys for.
Thank you for coming.
Coming and helping with this.
Yes.
Sorry.
I move to approve the bills.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You also have attached bills for ratification.
Make a motion that we ratify the bills as presented.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Seeing no announcements or other business, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We are adjourned. And we will start the budget discussion process just shortly.
You didn't know about the pizza they left.